Hello and welcome back to the restaurant show. Right now I am joined by Nick from the Macaroni and Cheese shop, MACS. Thanks for joining us here today. How are you doing?
Great, how are you?
Good, and I'm very excited for the one you have today, the Popeyes. So we're gonna do Popeyes Mac and Cheese. Tell us where that name came from.
Yeah, Popeye Mac and Cheese, what it is, the basic ingredients are the specialty cheese that we use in this dish is provolone cheese, so it's a little stronger cheese.
Good.
We have cheddar, pepper jack, mozzarella, and some of our others, but the one we highlight on the Popeye is provolone cheese. We also have sauteed onions and mushrooms that get right on the grill and then go on top of the Popeye Mac.
Okay.
And then obviously the key ingredient that makes it a Popeye Mac would be our spinach.
The spinach.
Just like everyone's favorite sailor man's favorite food.
Very nice.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more intensive than some of the other ones, so we'll get right to it. Obviously, first we're going to start with our elbow macaroni. That gets right into this, goes right into the skillet to start. We'll begin, like I said, that special ingredient, the spinach. We'll mix that right in there, and then our house-made cheese sauce. We'll just put that right on the top of the mac, and we'll mix that in a little more thoroughly when we get a chance. So now it's got the noodles, the spinach, and then the cheese sauce.
Sure.
Okay, and like I said, we highlight the provolone.
So more cheese.
More cheese,
on top of the cheese sauce.
Just a little bit more to give it a little extra different
Very
taste,
nice.
a little uniqueness to it. Also going to help give it a little bit of a crust on the top.
And you can never really have enough cheese if you're having mac and cheese.
Exactly. Yep. And then finally, we just touch it off with our garlic breadcrumbs. And once again, that's going to kind of give it a little extra taste, give it a little crispy crunch to the top. It comes out looking nice, crispy, and crunchy when it comes out of the oven. So before we do that, we'll get our onions and mushrooms ready. Like I said, we'll just saute these, and they come out off the grill, ready, nice color there. And then as the Popeye comes out of the oven, you can see again we have the spinach mixed inside there.
The nice little crust you talked about on top.
Nice provolone crust layered there. And then we'll just top it off with our onions and mushrooms right off the grill. And once again, these are all made to order. So as soon as the Popeye comes back, our cooks are working hard. They're getting the onions, mushrooms right on the grill so that everything comes out fresh and ready as soon as the order is complete.
So just, mac and cheese not always considered maybe the most healthiest dish, but if you're gonna have one, you got the mushrooms, you got onions, and of course spinach, which is one of those superfoods I think they call it anyway. So you got some good stuff in here too.
Yeah, I don't won't argue with that. Yeah, veggies, a little green in your mac and cheese. We do have a lot of people that go with this, maybe even the smaller size. The one we have here is our larger size, which is we call the Mac Daddy size. We also serve it in a regular, which is about 2/3 this size. So yeah, we see a lot of people order the Popeye, trying to get a little bit of veggies in there. Maybe they're not a big meat eater. We have a lot of Macs that have either chicken, bacon, pork, burger right on the top. So
this is one of those opportunities if you're not a big meat eater, we have things like this. So Max has a lot of different options, whether it be in the melts that we talked about last time you were here, or even in the macaroni and cheese. They have options for everyone as long as you like cheese, I would assume though.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have our wedge salads where you'll see a lot of these ingredients on our garden wedge. Onions, mushrooms, tomatoes.
And all made fresh to order, so you get a good meal when you get there.
Absolutely.
And so after you have the Mac Daddy, if you got a little bit of room left, you might want some dessert. And as always, you brought something along special for dessert today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I brought with us today our Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Cheesecake.
Oh my goodness.
This one we like to highlight a lot. It's kind of our staple on our dessert menu. This along with our chocolate cake, both of them made right in-house every week. We make new cheesecake. We have a new one on the menu right now, salted caramel cheesecake. We've had peppermint chocolate cheesecake during the Christmas season. We just finished up a cinnamon chocolate cheesecake, and we'll continue to kind of make that third one a different variety. But like I said, we want to keep this Reese's Peanut Butter Cup on the menu permanently.
So a couple different options, and usually something new if you go in there, if they're gonna rotate that, but that one you got the Reese's right on top, the nice mixture, that's gotta stay the menu, that looks great.
It is, I think we'd have some people rioting outside if we didn't have that on the menu permanently.
Well, we have some time. What are some of the other desserts you rotate through?
We have a homemade chocolate cake.
And that's is that a staple?
Yep, that's the other staple. So you'll
All
see
right.
these two all the time. And then, like I said, we have a salted caramel right now. That'll stay on the menu as a specialty for a little while. Peppermint chocolate, cinnamon chocolate cheesecake.
So just kind of all new ideas, and
just
you make them
rotating
right in the
through.
house too.
Yep, we do right in house. We also offer chocolate chip cookies as another dessert option. That's one actually people, if they want to make any of their entrees, whether it's a mac, one of our 6 melts, or one of our 3 wedge salads, they can make any of those entrees a value meal with a beverage and a cookie and just make a combo and save a couple.
I don't
bucks
see why
doing
you
that.
wouldn't do that if you went up there. And speaking of which, you can get that at not 1, but 2 locations, not only in Sun Prairie and also up in the Dells. Now that it's getting warmer out, take the kids up to the Dells for the weekend. Maybe you guys go up there, have a good time. You can still eat MACS up in the Dells.
Same restaurant, same recipes. Everything is the same between Sun Prairie and the Dells. So if you're in the area, either of the areas, please stop by. Get the same great experience, same great food.
That sounds fantastic. I also want to mention, getting into warmer weather here, might have a couple graduations left, maybe weddings, class reunions, any of the events you have throughout the summer.
4th of July.
4th of July, you guys do catering too.
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is any of our Macs that you see on the menu, our 12 different Macs, we'll make you a tray however you want it. You can have it all one type of Mac. We can split it down the middle, split it in thirds, split it in quarters, just like you would a pizza, for example.
Wow.
You know, if you like the Popeye and someone with you likes chicken bacon ranch, or they just want the original, we'd be happy to split it right down the middle, break it up into thirds, quarters, however you want to do it. That gives you a little more variety and helps you, make your guest or whoever it is you're serving at your catering party a little bit more likely to dig in.
Going above and beyond on the catering there. So we want to thank Nick. Nick, thanks for joining us here today.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with more of the restaurant show. After this, I'm going to enjoy some of this macaroni and cheese workshop.